Cloud, lend me your strength. Let us defy destiny together.
The villain never thinks they're the villain. That's the beauty of it. Their perspective is always justified. And there's a thin line that Sephiroth threads beautifully. In one moment, you're like, wait, I get it. I'm on this guy's side. Is he doing the right thing?
He's not this like over-the-top mwahahaha villain. He's this very calculated puppet master, especially in this game.
You never really know with him because it seems like he knows everything and we know nothing.
He knows so much and he can get inside of Cloud's head.
He starts off as a soldier with people who look up to him, with the protagonist who looks up to him.
He was made into a monster, not of his own choice. And it was the realization that he essentially had no path but to become a monster that broke him and forced him to embrace that. You can't wait to see how much more of that thread he pulls from Cloud, how much he attempts to unravel and kind of lead him down a similar path.
7 seconds till the end. Time enough for you, perhaps. But what will you do with it? Let's see.
Things have gotten very, very real from when Cloud rode the train in, all cool like into Midgar in the beginning. A lot has transpired, so the stakes have just been risen. I think moral compass has not really shifted. Who Cloud is hasn't really shifted. I think the fight against Sephiroth, the fight against Shinra, all of that stays true, and if anything is exacerbated in the second game. The biggest shift really is, I would say, just the essence of Cloud, his personality, what he allows to show through. There's a lot more emotional depth, I feel. I think every relationship that Cloud has is important in its own way. It's dynamic because with every person we see a little bit of different side of Cloud. Cloud interacts with Barret in a very different way than how he interacts with Tifa. His vulnerability with Tifa is also very different than his vulnerability with Aerith. In the first game, the scenes with Aerith going through the rooftops and kind of traversing the slums, there was so much raw and honest interaction between the two, and I feel like it peeled back so many layers for the both of them. The water tower scene, that's definitely one of my favorites. I have like an anchor line, if you will, that was so drilled into me the first 3 months of doing this game. And Cloud's infamous not interested. Always, if I'm ever questioning the tone or where I need to be with it, I'll go to that line because it's there. There's an exterior to Cloud, and that's what most people see initially, and that's that tough, abrasive, cold, almost disheartened exterior shell. In the first game, we kind of got introduced to Cloud that way, and slowly, as the game progressed, we got to peel away the layers. We got to see what was inside. The second game, we get to really see the core of Cloud, the emotional depth, the vulnerability, the likability, the goofball-esque, if you will. You know, this little boy that has been hardened just through circumstances in life, we get to kind of see a lot more of that. But all in all, I think Cloud is just, he's a very interesting human being, and I've fallen in love portraying him.
Tifa? You're our guide?
I sure am. You can ask anyone around here. I'm the best there is.
Tifa is impassioned, and she definitely has a sense of righteousness and anger and determination to seek revenge, but that's also balanced with this really compassionate side. I think Tifa's internal conflict in terms of getting revenge, taking down Shinra, but also this moral compass of what is right and wrong is kind of my favorite aspect of who she is, because I think it makes her so human. She is not just solely driven by revenge and hate. She's also very caring and doesn't want innocent people to be killed or pay the price in the crosshair. I think in this game you get to see so much more of Tifa's past and all of the trauma that she has been through and carries and is kind of forced to confront. We really get to delve deeper and see what she has gone through and also understand what is motivating her. It's not like she's super old, you know, she's young to have gone through this. So it just makes me more empathetic as an actor, as a fan for her journey. I am most proud of the scenes between Cloud and Tifa. I think those are my favorite because that relationship is so deep and there's so much history and so many years have gone by. So it's always fun when we get to really dive deep into some emotion because it's hard to break through Cloud's tough exterior. So those rare moments are fun to play.
Wait, what are you implying? That I died? That I'm some kind of imposter?
Tifa's relationship with Cloud is really challenged in Rebirth. That is terrifying for her, as it would be for anyone. You kind of get to see their relationship really be stretched and put to the test. I think you also get to see her develop her friendship with Aerith as they both are concerned for him, and Tifa confides in her, and I think we get to see that develop and grow that relationship. It's exciting. It's exciting for me as the actor, and I hope for the fan base.
Well, can we rent some birds? Can we?
Fine.
When we first meet Aerith, she is a flower seller from the slums who spends a lot of her time in an abandoned church. But as the game goes on, you get to know her more. You find out she's the last descendant of an ancient race called the Cetra, who have the ability to commune with the planet and wield the power of the life stream. At the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Aerith talks about how the next part of their journey represents total and complete freedom. She calls it boundless and terrifying freedom. She's incredibly scared of what's to come because a lot of her life has been spent in very small circles and in confinement even. So in Rebirth, she is able to conquer that fear and face it and actually experience some of the joys of freedom. And that's a really cool journey to go on with her. I think a lot of Aerith's character development through the course of Rebirth has a lot to do with her friendships. She grows to love them so deeply, and I think that really informs her character and informs all of her decisions through the very end.
These memories were precious?
Yes. Extremely.
The line where Aerith is telling Wedge, "You can do it, I believe in you, you just gotta try your best." And lines like, "Gotta look forward, not back." Those lines are the lines I'm most proud of because those have an impact far beyond the game, because they impact people and help them push forward when things are hard. Aerith has this beautiful way of shining a light through the dark. The way that she embraces life and embraces joy and happiness in every single moment that she lives is so beautiful and so impactful. It's such a lesson for all of us. And that's gotta be the reason that people are so moved by her character. She's worked her way into people's hearts and just doesn't leave.
Only dumbasses believe that shit.
Question. Does that make me a dumbass?
I didn't say that. What I meant was, screw Shinra for manipulating honest folks.
Barrett's a leader, he's a father. He's a pretend father to some of the members of Avalanche. I would say definitely Cloud, unknowingly to both at times. He's fiery, he's tough, he's real, but he's a leader. And he cares about people and obviously about the planet. You know, from the moment the train lands and, you know, Cloud jumps off, you better be worth every penny, Merc. You see him as this commanding big guy, like, hey, it's about the mission, let's go. And then he's talking smack the whole time, like, why are you hesitating? Gotta blow this reactor up. Obviously, in the beginning, I care about the team more than I care about the mercenary who we just hired. And then you see as he grows, he cares about him and he's part of the team, but he's also got Marlene. And he's also got the people of Midgar. He's got all these different things that he cares about. And then all of a sudden, we get to this one, Rebirth, and we're in a whole different realm.
I did what I did, and I can live with it.
One of the most difficult things about portraying Barret is that I never want him to come off as a caricature or come off as a stereotype or be looked at in a negative way because of his culture, his race, his creed. He's not as angry as most people think he is, especially for those who played the original. But in Rebirth, Barret is very caring, but self-reflecting. So you get to see the actual center of who he is because of his story being told. A lot of interpretation came from me for Barret. I mean, I have an uncle who actually sounds like Barret. So I'm like, let me just put, my uncle into this too, and then see where this goes. Now, my uncle doesn't have as many layers as Barret. So I was just like, oh, thanks for the voice, Unc. I'll take some of that and, do Barret with that. But that was what we did for my part on it, but it was fun.
Without your help, I'd still be in Hojo's clutches, trapped in that lab.
When we first encounter Red 13, he is this mysterious creature who's being held captive in this evil scientist's lab, and he's being experimented on. And so we think he's this wise old man. We come to learn he's actually this brave and loyal and trustworthy friend. It's all about trust with Red, and we see that he is very closed off to the group towards the beginning of the game. And in Rebirth, we have this opportunity to see him open up. We see Red learning about his past and the truth about his family, and then we also get to see him make new family. His scene at Cosmo Canyon, that part of the game, is absolutely stunning the way it plays out from beginning to end. You see a character really transform and learn who he is and where he comes from. This character who's like 48 years old and finally learning the real story of his past. Red 13 is searching for his own identity. He's loyal to these people who freed him from these dire circumstances and is maybe using this as an opportunity to figure out more about who he really is and who he wants to be.
I'm back now, Aerith. I'm back.
Zack is courageous, he's loyal, he's got a compassionate heart for others. You're gonna see some new friendship dynamics and some old ones come about, and that's a big thing for Zack. The first one that comes to mind is him and Cloud's relationship. It just is, one, the friendship that everybody wants, a friendship like that, but two, I just learned so much from their dynamic. Also with Aerith as well. And you're gonna see some new relationships as well, like Marlene. And like I said, you're gonna see new sides of him because of that. I think fans are gonna love the story that we're telling. I think they're gonna be surprised. I think they're gonna be just shocked at the direction that we go with it. I couldn't think of a better story to tell for this next iteration of Zack. I think they're gonna love it. I know I did.
Wutai's White Rose, the one and only Yuffie!
You kind of don't forget when your materia gets stolen. You're kind of left with nothing. I think she left an impact on players. Yuffie is a super cool ninja from Wutai, but she is pretty much everything you would not envision a ninja to be. She is very theatrical and has really lofty visions of herself. She kind of has a one-track mind, and that is materia. But even for all the times that she messes up, she still sticks the landing because, after all, she is still a ninja, so. She had a very closed view of the world around her. She came from Wutai. She never really ventured too much beyond it, and she thinks very highly of Wutai and very not highly of everything else. From episode intermission and her interactions with all the people in Midgar and her experiences, she was able to open her worldview a little more and start to be more accepting of the people around her and really learn and mature through that.
Who are you?
Vincent Valentine. I'm... security.
Vincent Valentine represents a vestige of the dark history of Shinra and its extremely dangerous business interests. He represents kind of the surviving shadow of the people that were trounced by Shinra's initiatives and ideals. He represents the history of what got the company to where it is now, coming back to haunt it. I'm thankfully very familiar with Final Fantasy VII. I remember auditioning for it and wanting very, very badly to get this role. I had dreams back when I started out as a voice actor about one day having an opportunity to read for this game if it ever came to pass. For the many years that everyone was waiting for the remake to possibly be a thing, I had assumed it was gone. I assumed that it was just one of those that got away.
Some of the people in the production knew how much this meant to me, and they got me in to do some more background voices on Rebirth. I was like, hey, well, at least I get to be a part of this one too. Come into the session, they're like, we're gonna go ahead and put up a little camera. She gets her facial motion capture reference. I'm like, okay, I will never let any of you see that video.
I'll try to find it, guys. I got you.
I think my fondest memory working on this game was when I realized who I was playing.
You know what we're doing here?
I know the game.
So we've got you playing some NPC characters and variety of different stuff. And, you know, it's pretty much just like you've done before. We'll play you the Japanese file. You just come in, just give me like 2 or 3 in a row.
They brought me in to record background voices, just a couple of random people in Nibelheim or whatever. And partway into the session, the screen began to glitch out.
That's weird. Doing something weird here. Hold on.
And it led to this weird black screen display into text of, what if you were playing a different character?
What the hell is this?
And so they revealed to me in session that I was actually there to record Vincent instead of these background characters.
No. Are you f***ing serious?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. This fucking means a lot to me.
And it kind of broke me in a beautiful way. I think that's gonna be a particular memory I carry with me for a very, very long time.
Thank you for choosing Bronco Cruises. We sincerely hope you enjoyed your trip with us.
I'm most excited for the fans to just continue experiencing this story.
We're not relegated to Midgar anymore, and so you get to see so many cities and so many locations, and there's side quests, there's mini games.
I'm excited for everyone to be able to hop on a Chocobo and then see just how far they can ride and be surprised by how much more alive this world is in comparison to how we remember it.
I want to see their reactions to Barrett's story. I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that.
I'm most excited for people to discover the sides of Zack that they haven't seen yet before.
It's like the whole gang is together.
The characters get to let loose and have a little bit of fun.
It's really nice to get some lighter adventure and get to see these characters in more of a playful element and atmosphere. That was exciting for me, and I hope for the fans.
And there it was, the first step on our new journey. You coming?
Yeah.
Of course we are. Right?